Do you know the value of your customer relationships? Hi, my name is Susan and I share financial tips for founders and CEOs, especially around scaling your business. In today's video, I'm focusing on 4 areas that are really important when it comes to measuring customers. This info is helpful for startup founders when you're designing your strat plan, but if you've already been in business for a while, you've actually got enough data there perhaps that you can roll up your sleeves and really crunch some numbers. For startups without enough data there to work with, this should still be helpful for modeling purposes. In other words, I'm hoping this video is going to be helpful regardless of your stage. That is my intention. Okay, let's dive in. Area number 1 covers the lifetime value of your customer relationship. I have a few questions for you to consider with this one. So how long do customers actively stay engaged with your business? And how much do they spend on average over their entire lifetime of the relationship, and how much are they spending on average each month? Do you have the data to actually back this up? Can you prove it? To calculate your lifetime value of a customer, you're going to take your average customer revenue, multiply it by the gross margin, and multiply that by the number of months that a customer actually stays with you. The result estimates how much money on average your customer is worth. Why is this important? Well, focusing on getting better really requires you to take note of where you're at, and obviously customer value over the lifetime is very important. So area number 2 is revenue velocity. This is a result of adding new customers plus expanding revenues from existing customers every month. How many new customers did you add last month? How many more than the month before? How much expansion revenue did you add last month, and was it better than before? Do you separate your new revenues from your expansion revenues? Are you both focused on both in parallel? Each month you want to measure customer counts, revenue expansion, total revenues for all of those in order to strive for better than the last time. Now, I just use month over month, but if you want to measure these quarterly instead, that is fine. Early metrics can be very lumpy for startup stage, so the main thing is pick a cadence and stick with it consistently. Okay, area number 3 is customer retention. Retaining customers longer and longer, growing those relationships over time can be your secret sauce. In my experience, it can be easier than you think to retain customers, but if this isn't an area you're actually focusing on, you're probably leaving a lot of money on the table. Track your churn rate and your logo retention rates. They're a great starting point to keeping it real. When customers cancel, find out why. Gross revenue retention and net revenue retention, these are 2 metrics that you'll want to keep an eye on. Benchmarks may be industry specific, but if nothing, you strive for better than the last time. And area 4 is customer acquisition costs. So are you tracking how much on average it costs you to acquire a customer? You're going to divide your sales and marketing costs by the number of customers added to get this CAC. How does it compare to your lifetime value? How many months does it take before you break even on a new customer relationship? You want to be driving down your customer acquisition costs, reducing your payback period. Measure it and strive for better than the last time. Okay, when you track these 4 areas, lifetime value, velocity, retention rates, and acquisition costs, you have pretty much covered the unit economics of customer relationships. I realize I may have covered some words that you've not heard before, and you might be having some challenges sorting through your own data. If you need any help, just reach out. We have people at Number Crunch who can help you through this. Now, I often get asked, what should these numbers be? The classic answer is, it depends. In some instances, there are benchmarks. For example, generally investors are looking for CAC to be 1/3 of LTV or less. You also want your gross revenue retention to be close to 100%. You want your net revenue retention to be greater than 100%. Benchmarking will vary by industry, but you're best to consider your number 1 competitor is yourself. Strive for better than the last time to move towards greater financial success. And my final financial tip here is create a slide in your management deck that tracks all 4 of these in a different quadrant. Compare it over time and see how your progress is going. All right, thanks for staying tuned. If there's anything else you'd like to hear about, any other topics you'd like me to cover, please comment below.